Okay, so sorry, I'm just opening up the. Sorry, just starting the pre-stream. No, it's
Yeah.
Edge.
at this point. It's like that's
You
all.
are very
You
staticky.
sound bit crunched.
Really, me? Can you hear me now?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, you're crunchy.
Oh no!
You
That
sound like,
doesn't
Sounds like
an
you're being
Atari game.
actively atomized.
You sound like an Atari game.
But Discord
You
says
sound
my
like you have-
connection is good.
Oh
You
god,
say-
I
you
tried
sound
to
like
load
you
that
have-
stream and it's just wow.
Oh no, I'm
You sound
worried.
like you're talking into a can.
Oh, we made the streamer leave.
Hello?
No.
Hello?
Still there. Try
it's still a bit
disconnecting. Try disconnecting your microphone.
No, I can't.
Also,
Hold up a second. Wait, is it using the right microphone?
oh, I need to quickly check something. Is this on the stream, man? Give me a mo.
It says on the stream. Yes. I mean, no. There's no. The stream is on the waiting screen. No, you got. No one can see anything. Don't worry. Oh wait. Input is this one. That's correct.
Bomber is on his way.
Okay,
I
I
just
figured
messaged
it out.
him.
It's just an us thing. It's just Discord
Oh,
being
I see.
Discord.
Oh.
I see. It's not.
So-
Well,
Jesus.
guess we're
It's
gonna have
fine
them.
on stream. It's just borked our end.
So everyone exit out and then come back in.
No, don't leave me. They're gone.
Nope, you're still crunchy.
Oh my god, that's so strange.
Yeah.
Everything looks
Still
fine on
not.
my end, and it sounds fine on the stream. I
Alright,
don't
still
know.
weird on my end.
Don't know what happened. I'm so
You,
confused.
you sound like an old Atari game that once you hit like a border and it take damage, like.
That is oddly specific.
You sound like
you can hear it.
you sound like a game with voice lines from the
Hey,
late
listen!
90s. Yeah.
Oh god. Oh god. I have PTSD. Oh no. Oh god.
Hey,
I bricked my
listen!
book. So
Hey! Listen!
Oh my god, you do that
Jesus.
so well.
I've got
I'd like
that
to
range.
mention 2-star.
Yeah?
Before they hopped in, me and shit, what's the name?
Me?
Litney?
Yeah, Litney. Me and Litney were like screeching at each other over like the fact that she's technically a necromancer but can't handle gore.
Yeah.
And I whipped out the most Litney, you described it very well. Could you re-describe it?
Let's see.
Star.
You sound like a psychotic British, but fell right into a Scottish accent.
Yeah. It was Sura. God damn it. I don't know where I picked up the
It was
dra
more
thing.
a psycho version of how I voice Litney.
Yeah, touche. Although
Yeah,
my
but-
voice is a little bit different from everybody else's due to I don't really hear my voice. I hear what I think my voice is, and then it is
That's how most people
rather
do.
different in reality.
Yeah, that's how most
That's
people
how
do.
all it is.
I cannot stand the
Yes,
sound of my
yes.
voice on recording, so
No.
Because of
To
that, I
me,
can't
I don't
edit.
sound like the same person.
yeah, to me,
Our cat's
I can't
here.
stand I can't stand my voice in
Oh,
recording,
boy.
so that's why I can't edit a video.
The
Despite the
mime's
fact
here.
that Razzle and I recorded a video last week, and it's
Litney's on phone.
I've not been able to download anything. I've not been able to do it.
Oh no, are we having the same issues we had that one time?
Apparently not.
Star is
Because what happens is
crunchy.
the stream runs fine. The stream sounds fine. I have perfect connection on Discord. I think it's okay, hold up. All of us leave the Discord channel and then we rejoin.
Okay,
I-
fine.
Okay, Star, speak. We need to see if it's still crunchy.
Hello, I'm a robot. I'm Starlight. It's nice to meet you. I was made to murder. I mean, no, ignore that. I didn't
Oh
say
dear
that.
lord, it's still there.
Oh god, it do be a wee bit Crunches
well,
chips.
everyone.
Crunchy.
Looks like we're just gonna have to deal with it, guys.
Well, everyone.
Yeah.
Laviande,
you have issues.
Yeah.
Laviande is gonna be a little late, apparently. So,
Yeah.
oh shit!
All right. First off,
We have like 30 tabs. It's a little hard to click on the thing without hitting the X.
okay. Should we deal with the armor quickly?
Probably. It seems like
Yeah.
things got reset for me. That's not gonna be good.
Oh no,
that's
that's a
I-
problem.
My D&D screen is empty. I don't know what happened.
Empty.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
No, what happened is on
Also,
OBS.
I love the fact that there's.
Okay,
I'm gonna let you finish.
it's fine. I'll figure it out something later. Yeah. So anyway,
God.
the D&D screen's supposed to have like multiple views and stuff, but that ain't working, so that's not good.
That ain't it. That ain't it, Chief.
That ain't it, cheap. Okay, right. So let's. Okay, I'm just gonna move things around. You guys can talk really quick while I get the screen set up.
So I'm imagining the stream is mostly just going to be the transition between the
No.
not bounty of font to the actual bounty.
Yeah, we're definitely going to need to find a way to get information on that frigging gang. Who knew tracking leprechauns hands were hard to do?
The
Who knew that there were
leprechauns,
so
they have to
many
hide
of
the
them?
pots of gold, so somehow.
Who knows that there were so many leprechauns? There are
Yeah.
apparently multiple leprechaun gangs. Multiple.
Well,
knew
according
that
to the person who runs it, it's not a leprechaun gang. It's an orc gang that happens to have leprechauns. Ignore what was on screen.
Okay, well, gangs with a majority of leprechauns.
It's an orc gang that only has
Oh
leprechauns.
God.
Yeah, we're gonna have
I'm
to.
sorry.
ask-
My PFP by itself is individually taking up almost the same amount of space as Star themselves.
Listen,
Fix that.
the
I
D&D
think that's a
screen
Star
doesn't-
End thing.
D&D screen doesn't work. Okay, listen here. I'll fix it. Just look at this, okay? Everything's gonna be perfectly
Depression.
fine. Everything's gonna be perfectly fine. No, don't pressure me.
Man,
Hold up. One
No, I
second.
said depression.
Depression.
Oh no.
I really like just the
I
party,
don't think your thing's
the way it's
happy.
organized. Then also the giant bear between the party.
I'm in pain. Okay.
Just staring at the camera.
Okay, so tell me about
Anyway.
the armor.
All right. I wanted to either fix as much as can be fixed and scrap the rest.
Okay, did
For
I give you
material.
specifics on exactly how many armor pieces?
No.
Okay, fine. Okay, please. Okay, hold up 1 second. Lord Wallbear. Bear.
What?
Please, please write this down.
Let me open the.
Please, just,
No.
no. It's just
Pad.
a few numbers. Just
Uh,
note this down because it's important for you.
Text document.
Okay, then someone
D&D
can write this down, I guess.
Stuff.
What? You have to
I-
write stuff down in a
What do
pen
you
and
want?
pencil game?
Okay, fine.
Alright, hit me with it.
Hold up a second. I have I have so many tabs open. Okay, right. So 2 padded leather armor. Okay,
2
padded leather
Pat-
armor.
leather.
3 hide armor.
3 hide armor.
1 chain shirt.
1 chain.
1
Shirt.
scale mail.
Full set.
1 scale mail. And 1 ring mail. Heavy armor. That's what you have. That's what they have with them right now. There was some other
Mm.
armor, but
Alright.
that's not salvageable.
So it's two
There is
pattern
more
level, 3
armor, but it
high,
doesn't
one
belong to
chainmail
you.
shirt, one scale mail set, and one ring mail set, right?
Yeah.
Aye.
Cool, cool.
All right.
So you have all of that. Oops, sorry. And it just so happens that hey, would you like to describe
You
the
sound
job?
like
Okay, hold on 1 second.
oh me.
No. Okay, I'll pause. So we'll deal with the armor. Okay,
Yeah.
we'll deal with the armor in just a moment. First off, I'd like to just run everyone through stuff. God, this is gonna
Some
take a while,
things.
isn't it? Okay.
Oh yes, it absolutely is. You signed up to be a DM. What were you expecting?
No, not the D&D game. Sorting out the reactive PNGs. That's really technical issues. You know, what can you do? My settings disappeared, literally. Nothing I can
Oof
do
size,
about that. Anyway, it's fine.
large.
So here's what's going on.
If
We'll start.
if you don't want me in the middle of the party, just put me to the side,
I can't
if
move
possible.
you.
Oh no.
I have to individually get your Discord PNG and import it in. I'll do that later. Just wait. I'll talk first through this. First off, this is important.
Aye.
Razzle, what exactly were you doing during this
Well-
roughly 3 days of downtime? Oh, I know who you were doing, but what are you doing?
Well, after the events of what
Oh.
happened, obviously the first thing Raz is doing is assisting Cassie away and trying to basically end that scene.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Giggity.
Wonderful. Sure. We'll say that's what you do.
Hopefully things end better than the last time. And once things are all settled, they're going to...
I do also want to actually point out they are
Howdy.
not wearing. They're not wearing heavy. They're not wearing full plate armor because I just double checked that. Looked at the price. No, they're not doing that. That is. After
Are you
af-
rotating me and putting me off screen so I just like pop in? Oh, no. This is perfect. This is how I tend to enter streams. I just how to burst through wall.
Yeah, after looking at the price, I realized that no, that was a grave error. She doesn't have full plate mail. She can't afford full plate mail after a certain cat with light fingers, apparently in a very heavy pouch, took her last set. She's got splint mail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Anyway.
Chainmail is for paladins who don't get robbed.
You think
Okay,
someone...
so I'm looking at the stream right now, and I see there's two of me. I'm an egotistical piece of shite, but this is too much for you to me.
Don't worry. Please. Ignore the stream. I'm fixing it.
You are actively in the
Yes.
servers,
Okay, so Razzle,
bolting in
what-
things that were
okay,
supposed
listen,
to be there hours
Razzle,
ago.
What exactly are you up to right now?
Well, having resolved all that loose ends, one X off the list, we just go try to see about that money, because I know I have the 100 gold that every party member was promised. But that doesn't mean
Yeah.
Raz didn't swipe a few things.
Obviously.
From where?
You know, the contraband pile.
Sure.
I see.
I will do a roll for random assortment of things she grabbed.
Roll 2d8.
Seems a bit generous.
12.
12.
Yeah, that's about 12 gold worth of random contraband. That's pretty impressive.
Damn.
Obviously, the thing she's going to
I
do is
wonder how
go
many of
back
those are cigarettes.
to the fence she found.
Okay. Absolutely, you can definitely go ahead and do that. So you go to the fence and you got a random contraband, which, where does it come from? Who knows? Not to be named.
Look, it's basically your thing not to, argue.
I know.
You're the fence. You know it's all stolen.
Canadian.
Yeah, so it's all fine. Who's the soul from?
Canadian
Who
spotted.
knows? Yeah. So yeah, basically you go get that stuff fenced out. You don't have any major issues. Although, could you please roll me a 1d6?
Oh boy, can't wait to be
3.
random NPCs. Yippee.
As you're walking down, as you're walking over to the fence and back, you're on your way back, you feel a little worried for some reason. You're not entirely sure why, but you get like a little tingle down your spine. Like your fur frizzles a bit. You feel like someone's watching you. You just kind of like you don't see anyone, but you feel like someone's watching you. And as you're just watching, you just hear a how you just like off in the distance, like a little whisper. You just barely hear it, and you're like, but there's no one there. It's an empty alley.
She closes her eyes and turns back to the shopkeep. Actually, I'd like to make a purchase.
Oh yeah, but
Again.
I believe that a place like this would be capable of selling cane swords.
What do I look like? A fucking fence? He kind of just turns around, just looks at the wall behind him, looks down. He's like, yeah, I got one. Hold up. He just bends over.
Raz is going to just grab that person by the scruff of their neck. Hold on. Insight.
Go ahead, insight.
Mm.
I'm going to
Style
ask,
that be
having
enough?
seen the person that she last did business, can she at least tell this isn't the same person?
It is
Presumably because it has a gruffer dwarven voice, when I'm pretty sure they weren't a dwarf before.
Oh yeah, this guy's a dwarf, and you can clearly tell he's standing on a stool. You're pretty sure the last person here was an elf, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, so Raz is just like grabbing this dwarf by the scruff of his neck and just like, so, care to explain to me what the well, she's using sign, just like, you got a few minutes to elaborate before I yank you hard and you fall off this stool. And that'll be fun, falling about 3 feet to the floor.
Whoa!
Potentially onto your head.
There's no need for this. I'm just here at my hubby's house. In my hubby shop.
Just like, looks at him.
He doesn't seem
Hey,
like
you
the
don't know.
type,
It could
but
be a female.
yeah, you're surprised.
Hey, you don't know. It could be a
Raz is-
female dwarf.
Nah, he's a man, 100%.
Dwarf males and females look identical.
Yeah, he's a man.
That is true, but Raz is
with your
more
14
confused
with
by
your-
the fact that
With your 14 insight, though, you can't tell that he was kind of looking for like the shittiest cane sword he could possibly find. He's like, fuck, what can I? What's the shittiest thing here I can sell? It's like, oh fucking, why is there so much backlog inventory? You got to get rid of this stuff. That kind of stuff.
yeah, no, she wants a decent one.
And he's like, okay, fine.
So I'm looking at the list of cane swords. It goes up to mithril. I can't afford mithril, obviously.
Where's the list?
But here's what I know. Iron is the default. It's just like my fencing sword, only, it can be sheathed and unsheathed in the fake cane.
Yeah, okay, so she basically just looks at you like, okay, fine. Listen. If you want like an actual good cane sword, I can like recommend this guy to you who
Howdy.
actually sells up proper. It's a legal shop, but they have a little bit of stuff on the side.
Raz just rolls her eyes and lets the dwarf go, fine.
Yeah, he just writes down something on a piece of paper and gives it to you. You look at the piece of paper, it's written in Dwarven.
Well, there's plenty of dwarves around that she can get help from.
Especially a certain angry dwarf.
You don't get the feeling he wasn't trying to be subtle when he wrote that. He just hurriedly scribbled down something.
Raz just takes the paper and starts heading out. First, of course, making sure she can perceive who's out there.
Roll perception.
Oh, by the way, yeah, I'm here.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, I acknowledged
Sorry,
their existence by stating how.
Very aware of
Oh,
what's
shit.
out there.
Yeah, there is someone invisible just staring at you.
Raz is going to raise a sign, very obviously, in their...
lightly chuckling.
Raz is going to raise a
lightly
sign.
chuckling to themselves, completely negating the whole purpose of being invisible.
Yeah, Raz is going to raise a sign in the general direction that reads, "You may be invisible, but you're not soundproof, idiot."
You hear? Cast us outsmarted again. And then you just hear a footstep walking away. It sounds familiar, but you can't place it, mostly because it's like kind of these whisper shouts, and it could be anything.
That
They all sound the
and
same. But you,
Raz has met so many people and have made so many enemies, at this point they do not remember.
but you know, you vaguely,
It's just like,
you vaguely have a
well,
basic understanding. It's like a female-ish voice, although it does sound a bit raspy, a bit weird. You know, the fact that you're standing there chuckling themselves invisible while staring at you does make you. It brings back memories, but memories of several people. The fact that they just turned and walked away, though, makes you like, huh? Okay, it's probably not that insane snake girl. It's probably not that weird guy, who just likes turning invisible. He just has a bunch of scrolls which he just wastes all the time. Who could it possibly
that
be?
was the
That
worst
sounds like a
addiction she's
mood.
ever seen.
Yeah.
But she did get a lot of good scrolls of invisibility off of that one. That was fun.
Yeah. You don't know where he acquires it from. You don't know how cheap he gets them, but it can't be cheap enough for him to just keep using them any chance he gets. Anyway, that's it. There's no other encounter for you on the way home. You just left.
Wait, I don't get to go get my cane sword?
On your way to the cane sport. You don't get any other encounter.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So,
I'll get back to you in a moment.
Okay.
Litney,
Yes.
what have you been up to these past 3 days? We talked a little bit in DMs, but
Yeah. What Litney is doing is basically a keeping an eye on Inati, and working with trying to get their orphanage established. First, I remember that you gave Ava Litney
a list.
yes, and as well, we talked about a vision and or so of what to name the orphanage.
A spark of memory.
Yeah. They don't know what what language this was, but it's I forgot what it's called. What it was. Something Bloom. Sarah. Cerebral.
Yeah, we've already tried to deal with Star's Atari-ification on Discord, then we just have to deal with it for now.
Yeah,
So
so-
sorry, but there's nothing we can do about that.
If you
Yeah,
can't
understandable.
deal with it, just listen to the stream and try to piece it together from there.
Yeah.
10-second
I'll-
delay. I'm so sorry. I don't know why it's just on your end. I don't know what to do.
But yeah, other than the name, they would be
Yeah,
keeping an eye on
the name
Inati's
is Saron Bloom.
Saron Bloom.
Posting in right there in this corner. Yeah, Laviande, I don't know why. Everything on my end seems perfectly fine.
No,
And-
don't worry. Yeah, I just
and
wanted to make sure that it wasn't just me.
And Litney would also be tending to Anadi since
Yes. So you have heard in these past 3 days, basically, that Inadi does happen to be suffering from some side effects. You can't entirely tell what. You know that she's got some amount of insomnia going on. She hasn't been able to properly sleep for a while. You're a little bit worried about that. You have taken her to see the doctor. Doctor has given you some pills and told you that it's best to try and get this sorted, just through habit first, and take the pills as a
Mhm.
last resort if she's just not sleeping, because the pills will make it harder for her to recover. So
all right.
you've learned about this, and the furniture and stuff. You got to get all of that sorted. And to get that stuff sorted, it's kind of a matter of, you're going around town trying to figure out what or not you're doing, right?
Yeah.
Someone did tell you about this pretty nifty shop. It's kind of like I don't know if I call it a menagerie, but it's basically a whole bunch of different places, different stuff put together. It's a little bit of everything.
All right.
Yeah.
Lenny would which
mean-
street would it be on?
It will be over in the Commerce Street over here, somewhat close to Broad Street.
All right. I would say Litney would also bring Inadi just so Litney could keep an eye on her health.
That's good. That's good. By the way, Solstice.
Yep.
You've been over in Drayton Park, where the druids are. Well,
Yeah.
quite a few of the druids, at least the decent ones. So you've been hanging around here trying to get the two wolves sorted out. As
Yep.
you've been doing that, I imagine you probably spent at least some amount of time with the wolves, trying to get them accustomed to you. Maybe chatted up with the druids a little bit.
Yep.
Yeah. So the druid basically. The druid is this weird old lady who just basically, whenever they got some free time, they're always just eating something, usually meat. Like when you walk in this time, you see that they're just eating like some roasted chicken leg. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I guess breast is the right word, roasted chicken breast. And they're basically just, as they're eating, they're just staring at the wolves. The wolves seem to be sleeping, and they're just like, kind of like, eyes half closed, looking at them, turns to look back at you, just basically says, "Yeah, yes, the wolves."
Bomber, do you not have a mic?
Me?
No, Bomber.
What?
They've typed things into chat twice now, and I am confused because
No, yeah,
it's
not
on
led.
roll 20.
It's not led bomber. It's just me. Yeah, it's just me. I'm typing on
Yeah.
Roll20 because I just wanted not to disturb the flow of the game.
Yeah. No, it's fine.
Okay.
It's not me. I'm not doing anything.
Yeah.
Shit, sorry, not Bomber. Yeah, sorry, I
Laviande,
assumed that
Laviande.
Laviande was
I
Bomber,
understand.
but that's
No,
because I
don't worry.
continuously have
It's
effectively
fine. It's fine.
the best definition of how my brain functions is blender.
Don't worry. Don't worry. It's all good.
I'm not referring to the modeling app. I'm referring to the frickin' thing you put 2 tomatoes in, and suddenly you have a pizza sauce.
Don't
Yeah.
worry. Don't worry, man.
You
It's fine.
blubbering bulbous pumpkin! You cannot buy a blender at the 99p store!
Okay. So yeah, basically she's like, yes, they're doing quite good. Is it too weird? But, be good boy. Where did you find, by the way?
They were captured by this leprechaun gang.
The leprechauns. Yeah, fuck them. By the way, this person, this druid, this old lady druid, is like pretty short. At first thought, you first thought she was a leprechaun. She's an old lady leprechaun, but no, she's apparently a halfling. Like the foxy leprechauns, these tiny buggers.
Meh. They seem more stupid than crafty.
Yeah. So basically, she tells
Jesus.
out. She basically says, "That's what the. Where did they get these wolves from anyway? The wolves, like, oh, nowadays, so many animals. They're all so weird. You know?
I'm guessing they thought they were blink counts.
Fair.
It's not every day you see one of those. But no. Like, not just that. I mean, like, these animals, yeah, they look a little bit stronger than a regular wolf. They're, like, tiny, but stronger. A little smarter, I think, too. You know? Not well spoken. They're fucking idiots when it comes to talking. But otherwise, they seem smarter in, like, the normal ways. Like, better than regular wolves. I should know. I've lived near some of them for past over 10 years. So, she kind of just looks at you. Have you seen anything? You look like you've been around for a while. Have you noticed anything?
Well, I have been all over the place.
You guys can hear me, right? Do I need to speak louder?
No,
Yes,
no, we can hear you, I
we can hear
think.
you.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can hear you
I
just
have
fine.
been all over the place. This wolf just seemed to be had suffered at the hands of a child with a makeup kit.
She just kind of nods at you. So she looks at the wolves like, not just the wolves. It's like, I see, like, nowadays, like, the insects. Like, a lot of the insects have been kind of like moving away. Actually, they're not sticking around as usual. A little worrying, because if they all leave, then we're gonna have some troubles with the harvest. The gardens are gonna need more trouble to take care of. I don't know why.
That
It's like they're scared of something, but the other animals seem a bit. They don't seem to know. They just seem generally strange.
that's worrying. But no, I can't say I have felt anything. At least I don't think so. Gonna roll an Arcana and see if I can feel anything. Because this feels like something I should roll for.
Wait, don't you have like a divine sense or something? If it's
Divine sense
Oh.
is only close range.
ah,
Arcana 11. Nah, you can't tell. It's tough. It's tough.
I ask Stefano if he have sensed something using his sense of smell or sight.
Well, he looks to you. I don't know exactly how he'd speak. Regally, right? Shall I give him a
He
voice,
sounds
or I'll just paraphrase what he says to you?
he sounds like a posh cunt.
He's like,
Posh cookie.
I do declare there happens to be nothing of particular value in the air. There are none of those worthless goddamn insects, tank gods. But no, I do not sense anything. Maybe just a little bit of overwhelming dread, but other than that, I believe he'll be perfectly fine.
oh, just because a necromancer is living amongst you means that everything's dreadful. I see how it is.
You can just imagine
other than
Laviande
other
walking
than
by
having to
from a
deal with
corner
this
and be like,
Dozens
"How
of
does
other
this
reasons.
other than having to deal with the stank of a goddamn necromancer, we're doing perfectly fine." I'm so sorry. I completely
Behave
fucked up.
yourself.
I fucked up the voice completely, but it's fine. I'm sorry.
Don't worry about it.
I'll try a different one next time.
Try to
But
control the L's a little bit more.
so I imagine that. So you got anything else you want to say to the old lady now, or are you gonna head out and probably get the armor thing sorted?
Well, if she's sent, are they willing to follow me?
The wolves?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay,
It
good.
basically just says, okay. Ah, yes. Chop, chop. And then the wolves wake up. It's like, wonderful, it's time to go.
Okay.
And they
Perfect.
look to her, I look to you. It's like, the left one yawns. The right one's like looking a bit more eager. It's like nodding.
Yep.
And they go with you. They
All
follow
right.
you.
Good.
It's a little troubling at first because At first, they're kind of slow, taking a bit more distance. Then eventually, when you start getting close, they get close.
Yeah.
Especially the right one, that more excited one. He keeps trying to bite your sword, thinking it's a stick. Thinking it's a stick just flying around.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna ask them to keep their eyes open and see if they can figure out why the bugs are fleeing. Cause bugs aren't exactly intelligent, so they shouldn't exactly flee.
You can't. Can you speak the animals? Regular animals?
No. Oh no, not at all.
You just say that to them, and they look to you.
I meant
These these wolves solemnly nod to you. Their brains clearly empty.
I meant the druid.
The druid, I'm so sorry. The druid's basically like, she nods back to you. It's like, ah, she stretches. Ah, maybe it's time I get the old bones off the ground, and maybe take a little bit of a explore around. I hear there's a forest nearby.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
That's right. So yeah, you're also gonna go probably to shop.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Okay, and now we have Litney. Oh, no, Laviande. I don't know why I look at Laviande, I read her name, and I say Litney. Laviande, what have you been doing in this 3 days of downtime? By the way, yeah, you did get up roughly like right after you got knocked down. We told you what happened, right? There was a bit of a
Yeah,
truce.
yeah.
Yeah, we stopped right after you left, essentially. But you got after you got knocked down, the fight ended. You got picked up, and then the party just was just digging around. What have you been doing in these
Well,
3 days?
well, 3 days is it's kind of like a limit of how long I can go without eating at all. So I probably would have like, I don't know, I would have probably went around
Oh
restaurants and
yeah.
asking for
By the way,
buckets of lard.
by this point in time, you would have gotten the magical contract stuff sorted.
Hmm.
Basically, it's just if someone attacks you, feel free to eat them. And otherwise, don't.
All right, cool. Okay,
Only
well,
eat
that makes
whoever we have justification. Also, it's basically a matter of unless impossible, you're obliged to try to leave the person at least somewhat alive enough to be
okay.
healed up.
Oh yeah,
that
that
sounds
also means
reasonable.
Litney would
Yeah,
be Laviande.
there is nothing holding you back from just going around killing people in the contract, because that gets really complicated,
Hmm.
Yeah.
because there are many reasons why you'd kill someone other than just self-defense. So that gets really complicated. It's just a whole Phistaco thing. Just don't eat people at random, and
No, she wouldn't do that anyway.
yeah.
But
So that's
yeah.
basically, again, they just want you know that they don't know that. So that's why they just want to make sure you're not going to just eat people at random. So it's as simple as that. That's the gist of the contract. I'll write down the proper thing later. I forgot about that. So
All right. I'll see what I can
I'll
do.
remind you
But
at the end of the
first,
stream.
what we've been doing these 3 days.
okay, so first off, well, as soon as I get me money, I'm just going to. All right, so well, time to go shopping for some more weird crap. So
Okay,
what?
hold up a second. That actually leads perfectly to this. So time's a bit
That's what I
fucky-wucky,
would
but
do in the
time. Yeah,
first.
I know. Time's a little bit fucky-wucky, but let's not worry too much about that. However, all of you right now are shopping. Let's say that.
Oh
Mhm.
no.
Yeah.
And as you're all shopping, Bear, would you like to describe the place they're shopping at?
Oh no.
Yes. Okay, so this has been on the back burner of my mind since the frickin' stream started. Okay, so I'm going to need you to describe two things. One, the location. Two, the time they're getting there.
The location. The location
Like, is it in the middle of an alley or not?
Okay, hold on. The location is over here, okay?
Where
Basically, to
Litney's token
describe
is.
this, you're about 1 block away from Broad Street. Broad Street is just a collection of like taverns and pubs, and since it's like the primarily like human tavern is like right next to primarily a dwarven pub, and so they constantly get into fights. So they just named the entire street Broad Street just because of that. Because they
Oh.
keep getting drunk and picking fights with each other. They call that area Broad Street, and you're like a block away from there. Your shop is tough to notice at first, but it isn't like a back alley shop or anything like that.
I know. I've seen Old England architecture. I know what you're trying to
Your
describe.
shop is a proper building. You can describe how you like the outside of the building to be, but it's not one that it's like again, people don't immediately look at it and just think, "Oh, that's the shop." You know?
Okay, so amongst a dozen or so other buildings, you see a door that doesn't really make sense where it is. It's a little off the street, but logically, if there was a building, this would either be beneath another building, or this is a door that goes into the basement and then the first floor. It doesn't
So
make
we're
all
in
that much
Japan.
sense to look at. If you were to surprise it like that, sure. It is mostly of heavy stones, and on one of the stones is etched Hectic's Haven. Or something along the lines. I'd have to ask Star for the specific name. If Star would be allowing it to be more specifically named, because I'm bad at names.
I will say this. It looks a lot like it might have originally been written heretics haven't, but some of the letters have just been like knocked off. You can clearly see indentations where it's like the sign, but it is nailed on these metal lettering, and you can clearly see where some letters have been ripped off. So instead of heretic, that's just the E missing. So it's heretic. And then instead of haven't, it's have. N, and then the apostrophe, and then the T is just missing. So it's Heetics Haven. That is the name.
Can I roll a hit? No, I feel like rolling a history would be probably not really worth it
It
since.
will be completely meaningless for Litney.
Yeah.
Can I sense magic from it?
Yeah, I
Are
would
you
like
trying to sense magic?
Do
It
they have the
feels-
spell for that?
They
well,
would.
It feels
I
a bit. It feels a
Or
bit
is it,
out of place. So I'm gonna do an I'm gonna do an Arcana check on that.
You know what? I will
Yeah,
you do
allow.
whatever
I
you
will.
want,
I will
I'm
allow
just-
Arcana for a vibe check, essentially.
Yeah,
20.
13.
Right.
Of course, the wizard. will know.
So, yes. Litney.
Mhm.
This place has a generally positive vibe, but you can sense this location has a lot of magic items that don't seem to have any consistency with each other. Like,
Litney,
some of them could probably blast a hole through the wall if they were used incorrectly, and others could probably barely kill a rat.
You are describing this as they are outside the shop, but yes.
You're getting that
Litney-
kind of magical vibe.
Uh,
Chaotic, but tolerable.
Litney's still holding up, basically holding Inganati's hand during the whole walk, like, stay close, don't touch anything.
But what if I like really wanna
Trust me, the amount of energy, amount of magic I'm sensing could kill you.
You know, she looks to you like
I don't know. I've opened the door just
you-
fine.
you almost feel like she'd probably argue, but she seems a little slightly unsteady, a little droopy-eyed, tired. Like,
Little sleepy.
Yeah,
yeah, sure,
Litney's
whatever.
like, Rachel's just on Inadi's head, just like, almost like in a comforting way. All right, just stay close, okay? And Litney walks in.
Fine. She follows
Okay.
you somewhat reluctantly. So, as a lot of you walk in, I imagine.
Yeah,
The time
I
of
walked
day,
in.
Raz took a
by
bit.
The time of day is by the way around like 11-ish a.m.
Raz took a bit.
Okay.
Mainly
Raz-
because, they were directed to this place via terrible dwarven directions.
Yeah.
I'm guessing it was from where they are right now to like here and then they took to here, then here
Yeah.
for some reason.
It's worse.
Yeah.
And then they
It's
got,
worse
somehow
than
ended
that.
up all the way up here.
It's worse than
And
that.
then they got to the right street.
It's worse than that. The dwarven
Oh, they went the other way
dwarven
around.
directions. The dwarven directions translated to non-believer safe place. A safe house. non
Oh, Christ.
So the dwarven directions translate the non-believer safe house, and it took so long to get it translated to the heretics haven't. Haven.
Heretics Haven.
Yeah. Yeah, basically it was because it's
By the end of it, Raz has crumpled up the piece of paper and just tossed it aside.
You started at nighttime.
It is
Yeah, no, I've
noon,
been
my
trying to follow
dudes.
this since yesterday.
Yeah.
I went shopping
Anywho.
yesterday.
That's how you got here, just as you see everyone else go in and you're like, the fuck? The fuck is this?
So,
Well, Laviande is definitely.
There's just the voice from the bag. Sucks, doesn't it?
when you
Well,
walk
next
in,
time, maybe
you
don't
are
get your directions from drunken dwarves. I don't know how you thought that would for you.
when you walk in, you immediately notice, and are also immediately noticed by a very big doggo. Could
Oh.
easily lay on someone and suffocate them.
I
Doesn't look like a
just,
very aggressive dog. It looks like a grizzly bear, but underneath all the fur, it looks like a Rottweiler. For scale, it is a mop level of floof.
And this is just at the entrance of the door, right?
It is directly in the building.
I'm
It
gonna
is
show
in the
him
building,
my
but
shovel.
at the door.
I'm gonna
Lenny
show
just
him my
like,
shovel and go, hey, here. Yeah. And for a while I, where's your master?
So, Raz is intimidated. Luckily, they have an item to make themselves feel safer.
Why
Lenny's
would
just like,
Raz be intimidated by
because
a
she's a cat.
actual ball of fur?
Why would the cat be scared
Oh,
of the
they're a
dog?
half cat.
They are a cat.
I forgot they're a cat.
Look at the picture.
And in the back of the store, it takes a minute for the shop owner to notice you.
Raz just reaches into
You
their bag and
see-
takes out a...
I'm gonna
Yes,
let
yes.
you finish.
Raz, feeling worried about the dog, takes out their dog pepper that they bought from the shop.
He's gonna
Dog
Kind of like
repellent.
tosses it in the corner.
The dog, upon noticing you and sensing you're not a threat at the moment, at least, lays its head back down. This is an older dog.
Well, that was a waste of a dog pepper.
In the back of the
Anyway.
shop, you notice, at about the same time he notices you, a rather stout but clearly elf. He's
So
not.
what time is it right now?
Around 11.
AM, I'm assuming.
Yeah, AM.
AM.
It's morning.
Okay.
The elf is rather stout, but not that wide. It's about a 4.5-foot elf.
Oh, hey, a fellow short stack.
Good morning. Is it clear if the elf is a man or a lady?
He has a jawline that could probably cut glass.
Good morning, sir. Then he gives a courteous bow.
Hold on, I have to generate his voice.
Good
Ah,
morning, my
new
triangular
customers.
friend.
New customers. What do you want?
Hey, what's the cursest thing you got?
The most cursed thing I have.
Dear Lord.
I'm sorry, I don't tend to carry cursed objects on here.
Well. What's the what's the thing that you can't manage to sell to anybody else? I know you got one of those at least.
Oh, it'd just be this odd wooden die that I've rolled it hundreds of times, but I've never seen it roll a 1. And I'm trying to sell for 30 gold, but nobody wants to buy it for some reason.
Is
Probably
there
because it's
anything?
a little bit too obvious.
Is there anything specific about this wooden die?
It seems to be. Sorry, I have to get out of that character's voice. It seems to be faintly, barely noticeable, very faintly glowing a hue of blue, and it appears to be made of wood, roughly carved, and rather plain except for the odd hue.
Can I roll a history check to see if something jogs into Litney's memory, like whether they heard something about such a thing?
That would be up to Star to say.
Yeah, that's what I was asking.
Go ahead. If you want to roll for history. Oh, that's good.
30-20.
Oh, that's good.
Well then, Star, take it away.
As you look at these dice, these simple looking at first glance wooden die, just simple numbers etched into them. Not even numbers, dots. A dot for 1, 2, 5, up to the 6 die, 6 side.
Yeah.
You turn it over in your hand, staring into the number 1 die. And as you just look at this, you can't immediately tell why, but the feeling you get makes you remember the story of a certain king. Well, king might be an inappropriate word. It was a translation. It might have been the equivalent of a duke, a noble of some sort of high power, a man of great wealth, a man who earned his wealth, some say through gambling. A toss of the dice.
I would say Litney's basically telling this story, still rolling the die in their hand, with a little bit of flourish also.
It felt as if the gods favored this man. No matter what, he seemed to have a near supernatural luck. He never rolled a 1. No matter what. Many people had accused him of cheating. Many people had made him change his die over and over again. A different dice, a different dice, a different dice. Roll, roll, roll. Win, win, win. Never rolling a 1 This man is a bit strange, though. For as amazing as he seemed to be, as much money as he'd won, as powerful as he got, no matter how ostentatious he gets, like wearing more and more gaudy clothes, making his house the biggest possible, obviously like getting the biggest knights in the shiniest armor. Whenever he rolled dice, he would always use the cheapest looking dice. He would always maintain a very abstract, a very oddly humble view. It didn't particularly matter what it were made of: wood, stone, bone.
Yeah.
You remember the story of Oscar, the gambling king, and his dice? Fortune touch.
Yeah, I would say Lenny is saying these exact words, and as they're going to the identity of the owner, tosses it in the air, catches it, and then holds it out towards the owner.
Interesting. So,
How did you come across such a valuable item?
I wasn't aware that it was from what could only be described as a noble. I found it in a stone tomb. I was on my way here. I stumbled down a couple of valleys and kind of got into the venturing gig for a couple of weeks, and that was from my last haul. Almost all the trinkets, odd ends, and odd swords. He lightly points at a sword that seemed to bend in on itself, having strangely jagged yet smooth edges. The odd one or two. But that was from my last haul, and everything from here was from those days. Who knows, maybe one day when I sell everything here, I might go back on the adventure.
Well,
Adventure calls and everything.
Since no one wants to buy that one, how much do you want from it?
Oh, for the die?
Yeah, the die.
Oh, just 30 gold.
For something this priceless?
It never really struck me as important. It's sure it may have history, but it could be any die. Any wooden die could somehow be related to that the old king, or well, not king, but royalty.
Duke, but yeah.
Well, if you think that's valuable, Litney, 30 gold is a little steep for something that I don't think I'll use that often, but I'll think about it.
It would make us, if you needed more cash.
Yeah, but unlike your king, the one in your story, the magic is tied to the die, not to myself. So if someone calls my bullshit, then I'm fucked.
Fair enough.
So, unlike him, he was
scout
just
elf
lucky.
chuckles.
By the way.
Yep.
Bear, would you like to give Litney the chance, quote unquote?
Huh?
Would you?
I didn't hear you over the
Would you like to
static.
give Litney the chance, quote unquote? The chance to gleam a little tiny bit more?
Give me an Arcana check.
Alright. That would have been a nat 20 if I got advantage.
Hey, Litney?
Yeah?
Would you like to re-roll that? Go ahead, re-roll that.
But I asked, since, how knowledgeable of Arcana does this person seem? Because
if you'd like to re-roll that, go ahead and re-roll that.
Oh,
21.
I did it.
21.
Well,
while holding this ornate wooden die, that bluish glow vanishes for a minute and encircles you, barely noticeable.
What?
And with that 20, no, not that 21, sorry,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
will tell you what this dice does.
Just one
what
second.
it
I would like
actually
to. I would like
does.
to point. I would just like to give a little tiny bit more flavor. So, Litney, as you're reading into this die, analyzing every little tiny bit of magic you can see, it kind of slips you at first. You're just looking into this. You're like, oh, you can tell there's some magic going on. It seems kind of strong, but what exactly is it? You're just your eye. You speak. Basically, your third eye opens a little as you stare into this. The magical formula just buzzing by you, and you just feel a bit lost. Just drone as it drones on. You're like, I can't really figure this out. It kind of slips, and then as you just kind of lose focus for a moment, the die just rolls in your hand a bit, and your attention snaps to it as you notice it rolls until it rolls a 6. The 6 comes heads up, and as you're staring at that, you just realize, wait a second, and you feel like you can see through the code for a moment, and you realize what exactly it does. There.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you what it does. First, what it does in universe. It's a die that never rolls a 1. Plain
Of
simple,
course.
rather interesting. You would have learned that on a success of 8 or higher. But because you hit above a 20, I'm going to tell you what it does out of universe. For
Okay.
every 4 levels you have, you gain an additional charge of this upon long rest. So allow me to explain it better. So right now, you have 1 charge of this per long rest.
Yes.
You can reload any D20 or any other dice roll. Any.
It's basically
It's basically
lucky.
Okay, I'm going. Okay, Lenny's like slams the dice on the desk. I would like to take this.
Oh,
It
then
is
just give
it
me
is
the
a
30 gold and I'll let you walk away with it.
it is a wonderful item Barmy came up with.
I'll give the 30 gold. I'm now down to 100.
While you're placing that gold on the table, for a brief moment out of the corner of your eye, you notice a cat on the table. And it has strangely piercing yellow eyes that seem to see through you. Nobody else notices this cat.
Litney, his head turns towards the cat. Hello there.
It does not react. It appears to be smiling at you. Concerningly.
If only my insight was good, that I'd feel comfortable doing this. You know what? Screw it. I'm gonna do it. It's just gonna be a flat since I have no modifier.
Before you do that, Starlight, would you be willing to let any other rolls? Because I don't really feel all too happy making Litney roll exactly an investigation when they have a +0 in it. And
Actually, I can't.
you're the DM. You get to
Yeah.
roll this stuff.
As you stare at this cat, you get an odd feeling. A feeling like you just realize you're holding your breath.
Even though I can't breathe.
Yes, that's why it's a very, very strange feeling for you right now. I will give you the opportunity. If you roll insight and get a good roll, you might get a prize. Or
All right.
Or I will let you, for very specific reasons, history.
All right. And
But you might not
will.
like the answer.
I will go with history since I have a +6. I already rolled the lucky die, so it'll be a long rest, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
I do have my knowledge of
I'm
it.
very tempted to make that lucky die a freebie, but no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
23.
Oh my god.
Hmm.
Star, take it away.
Litney,
Yeah.
as you look into that god, as you look into that, the gaudy yellow eyes staring at you. For a second, they seem to glow brighter. Or maybe it's just the rest of your vision getting darker. You start to sweat, if such a thing were to be possible. You feel yourself
Yeah.
churning a bit. It's a very indescribable feeling, honestly. Especially since none of these bodily functions even work for you anymore. So how could you possibly be feeling them?
Mm-hmm.
You want to reach out, you want to touch that cat. You want to learn more. Why is it here? How could it be here? No. But you were promised.
I will
And then
say
And the
Litney-
rest of you guys, you just see Litney staring off into space, just shaking. Razzle on their shoulder, just trying to just grab at that cheek and just shake them away.
Yeah, it's almost like Ratchel's like knows something. Litney's seeing something that they don't like, and is trying to calm Litney down. What are you doing here? Basically, right? Almost like remember it.
As those words squeeze out through your tightening throat, you stumble forward. You can't breathe. You can't breathe.
Like you, if
And before
Doug was
you know
here,
it, the cat's gone. All that you're left with is your friends, your party mates, just staring down at you.
how does the naughty look?
Inari looks very
Star.
worried. She
I'd like to.
She grabs you. Are you okay? What happened? Yes? What's up? There?
Before that cat disappears.
Would you like to leave with a parting message?
Yes. See you soon. And it vanishes as it leaves your peripheral vision.
Does the name Sarah keep on ringing in Litney's head harder
No.
or anything from that?
No. What does ring in your head is promise. Promise! You promised! That was a promise! After all that stuff I did for you, no! No, you can't just abandon me like this! No! Why would you do this? Why would you do this, Litney? And then you just hear a scream from a distance. And everything just kind of just goes, you just feel faint as everything goes quiet.
Yeah, Litney's like barely holding on using their quarterstaff to. They're on their knees, but it's like the quarterstaff is just
Wow.
what's barely keeping them from falling face first onto the floor.
Laviande is looking at them like bewildered a little bit, but like not super bewildered a little. And she goes, for a sec I would have sworn you were just going to come back to life for a second there. Didn't seem like an agreeable experience.
Raz is
Litney's
just
just-
looking at the shopkeep.
The shopkeep, by the way, this entire time while you were on this mental break, was panicking because he don't know what the shit that dice does, and you touched it for an extended period of time, and you nearly collapsed. This entire time, he's been going, Are you okay? Do you need help? What do I do? That's basically what's been going on in the background.
Just would
Yeah.
have tried to calm him down and be like, it's okay, I'm dead, that happens all the time. I haven't seen that happen to her yet, but I knew that was going to happen at some point.
All you hear from Litney is, Cat. Why was it here?
Holy crap, you do seem to have a lot of enemies among animals, don't you? The first crows, now a cat.
Rachel, just hearing that, just runs up to you and just smacks you in the face and runs back.
The funny thing
Like,
is that
not-
rat is half the size of Laviande.
Yeah. It's like, shut up! Like, Rachel's clearly understanding, like, what's happening right now is nothing to make jokes about.
I'm just trying to. God damn it. Okay, no need to hit me. I'm just trying to make her feel better. Clearly, she needs it. The last thing I would want if I was having a panic attack is everyone around me to be even more stressed. And, it's a vicious cycle after that.
The shopkeeper, clearly high-strung still. I will hold this off if you're still chatting with each other.
No, you can go ahead.
Yeah.
Seems to be done with his panic attack and is quietly waiting for y'all to go around and look at the other things in his shop so he can, one, calm down, two, make money.
Laviande is going to be the first one to go up to him, but if you guys want to say something else before she does her thing, go ahead.
Inati is basically gonna take you and just try to lead you out of the shop because you need some.
Yeah, there probably needs
some
air.
You like some fresh air or something. She doesn't know you don't breathe, but it's adorable that she's trying.
Litney just smiles like, yes. And despite trying to look, a bit better, it's obvious Litney's eyes are darting around, looking for the cat. Yeah.
You have never been more aware of the fact that you don't just not need to breathe. You can't breathe.
Yeah, and it's like trying to give off a bit of a brave face because Inati's already not in the best condition. It's more like trying to be tactful while their eyes are just darting around trying to look for that cat. Because, So, Litney is going to leave the shop with Rachel and Inati.
Yep.
Yeah, Laviande is going to make sure that they are making it fine because though she jokes about it, she does worry a little bit for her. So, yeah, she doesn't
She is
want
also
her
your
to...
contract. She is also, your liaison right now, so she just suddenly drops even deader.
No, it's not necessarily about that. I do like
Litney. There's an extra layer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not worthless. I do like my companions. I don't hate them or anything, or I do care about them. It's just I'm just trying to make jokes because
I know.
I mean,
I fully understand. Sometimes
I don't want to.
Sometimes a smile helps.
Yeah, that's Laviande's whole mentality.
Laviande would know
die,
best.
well, it sucks, but if you're not gonna die, then at least you might as well smile a little bit,
Yeah.
Anyway, back on track. So she will turn back to the shopkeeper and go, "Yeah, sorry about that. And yeah, just a heads up. Next time, probably identify your shit. I enjoy surprises, but some people don't. But on a more candid note, anyway, do you have like a? Let me think a little bit about this. Do you have something that like allows for size change or control, or do you have something that, or better yet, speaking of which, do you have something that you really don't know what it does, like at all? One of those two. Something that either lets you change your size or you just don't know what it does.
Give me a moment. Well, I do have a bin of things that I'm not certain what they do. Why do you ask?
Well, it's just generally the thing that you know that they are magical, but you don't know what they do. They either turn out to be cursed, which is always funny, or they turn out to do something pretty amazing, but just very specific. I might not be very smart, thinking about her 8-inch score, but I am pretty creative. I used to be a farmhand, don't you know? So, anyway, the bargain bin then. What's there in that?
Do you go over there?
Well, the bin of things that they don't know, that we don't know what they do. Yeah, I'm going over there.
Name quite literally anything you could find in a ruin.
Well, are they? Hey, you're sure all of this shit is magical? At least some way?
Almost everything in there has some kind of magic attached to it, even if it's just because it's sat in a pool of a magical creature's blood for a couple of hours.
Yeah. I'm gonna try. Well, because of that, I'm gonna try to find the least blood-soaked thing. And just like I'm gonna try to remove the things that look like they have blood on them,
There.
and just
There. I gave you an item.
Yeah, I've been reading that. I kind
and
of
then
don't want
once I'm
handing it to
done
that one.
ruffling through everything that
Fine,
has
fair
blood
enough.
on it, I'm just going to try to find something that looks like interesting, just purely off of vibes.
That's fair enough. Oh, by the way, Bear.
Hmm?
You have heard of a shop that might. Hold up, wait, stop. The speaker fell.
Oh no.
Time for
Sorry, my speaker fell and
Time
my
for an
earphones got
ad
my speaker fell and my earphones got unplugged. I'm so sorry.
Oh, I thought you fell.
No,
Oof,
no,
size
no,
large.
no, I'm fine. I'm fine. Thank God.
Anyhow,
Hold up.
The party's at 2. So I was gonna get there early.
So anyway,
Pick you up at 12:30.
honestly, I was not expecting this sort of a turn of events for Litney.
Well, it happened. It happened to line up pretty well. We were talking.
so
Yeah.
yeah.
So, by the way, Bear, this weird goblin keeps talking about cursed items and stuff, and you happen to know about like a weird shopkeeper who basically lives like right next door, who always like dabbles in like weird curse shit and stuff like that. Like just a whole bunch of
I'm
random
gonna
weird
tell
items.
Laviande that in a moment
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
after I describe what Laviande selects from the bargain bin of mysterious and unknown items. It is a couple inches tall, a couple inches wide. Let's say a 2 inches wide and 4 inches tall, for say. It doesn't exactly matter the specifics, but it's a rather small but ornate looking wrought iron statuette little figurine, I should say, actually.
Ah, a minifigure that looks like what?
It appears to not really be all that descriptive, but it seems to be describing on it, with its general shape, something in between a goblin and a gnoll.
Hmm.
And I say that, and then I immediately realize I'm not certain you know what a gnoll is.
Yes, I know what a gnoll is. It's a hyena person.
I just had to be certain.
Yeah, don't worry about that. That looks magical enough. How much money do you want for that one?
Oh, that. He quickly grabs it from your hand and gives it a closer inspection, holding it and turning it around in his hand a bit. I'd say 65 gold. It was rather annoying to get.
Huh? How so? Clearly, there's a story
Well,
behind that.
Well, there is. You've seen skeletons before, right?
Yeah?
The reanimated type.
Yeah, I know.
Well, the only way I can describe it is imagine a skeleton, but not one skeleton, close to 5 or 6. It
Mhm.
was one hell of a fight. I still have a few
Oh.
scars from it.
Well, they seem that they had a bone to pick with you. Sorry. Look, please don't charge me more just for the bad joke. I am gonna just. How much again?
It's 83 now.
Sorry.
I'm joking. It's still 70.
Oh, okay.
Sorry,
So
65.
70 gold. Since
65, sorry.
No, decide yourself. God damn it. 65. Okay, is that your last offer?
Yes. Sorry, I just forgot what I originally said. When
All
you're
right,
around so
you
many
know
magical
what?
items, it tends to fog up your memory every once in a while.
All right, so
Especially if something that did that to Litney is around here.
all right. Actually, I'm just going to look at something real quick before I decide what my next course of action is. Should only take me a small moment. This is. Okay, so I don't need this anymore. Okay, so
Okay.
Laviande reaches into her pocket into the a slightly more stuffy side of her little pouch that she has, and pulls out the crystal that she used to use as a focus. She doesn't, since she doesn't need this anymore for reasons that I'll explain later. She's gonna offer this and goes, "Look, I'll give you this, and if you drop the price to 60."
He grabs the crystal and inspects it. I'm gonna be honest, I don't remember this item.
It's just a regular crystal. It's just a
Yeah,
regular.
it's
It's one of
crystal
the things you
that,
start with. It's a magic
yeah,
focus.
it's one of the things that you can use as a spell casting focus. You know, you can either have a crystal, a wand,
It's a
or
completely regular item. I'm pretty sure.
yeah, it can be
He
used as a
looks at
spell
it.
casting focus.
Let's see how. Maybe there's a price attached to it.
Yeah, there is. Give me a
Highly
hot second.
arcane focus. I think they're like worth 2 gold or something.
Let's see here. Druidic focus, arcane focus, crystal, 10 GP.
Oh wow.
I can knock this
That's
down
cheap.
to 50 for this.
Yeah.
Oh, all right, sure. Even better. We got a deal. I'm gonna grab the figurine, give him the gold, and so that's 60 gold left for me. All right. Well, I don't know what it's going to do. You sure you don't know what it does at all?
I have a loose idea, not much more. He
Well,
also
that's
puts
better than
your
nothing.
he puts the crystal you handed him under the table, well, desk,
Yeah,
his
I
side of
see
the
what
stall.
I see what you see. I see what you mean.
Uh,
Counter.
he
It's a counter.
Thank you. Well, when I pried that thing out of where it was, it seemed to scream when I removed it from where it was. Still have a nightmare or two every once in a while. Although I did see what I think was a stone thing vanish from behind me when I removed it. What this is for outer context, and okay, can I describe it to the players, Star?
I don't know what the item is, so yeah, you have to.
It is I forget what it's called in D&D terms, but basically, there's a button or a switch on the bottom of it. And when it's flipped, it will summon the creature described above it with all of the objects that it appears to have, which for this specific one is leather armor and a dagger.
A figurine of ominous power, but
Wondrous
don't
power.
they those? But don't those have a activation word?
Yeah, you would need an
but
activation.
lore. Well, not lore, but shenanigans.
All right, sure. And remind me, what does it look like?
It is halfway in between a gnoll and a goblin.
Okay, sure, good enough.
For stat terms, it is 1/4 your level of a leveled. It is 1/4 your level for a rogue, half gnoll, half goblin. So Star has the stat block for it, effectively.
All right,
Star
cool.
can tweak and mess about with it as they please. I'm not ruling over this item with an iron fist. None of the items I'm selling are being ruled over by me with an iron fist. Star can muck about with it as much as they want.
Half goblin.
I'm saying it's half a gnome and half a goblin. You decide what the heck half it decides to take a stat block from.
Oh, I was so confused. When you said that, I genuinely thought that that's an actual stat block I can find online. I was like, what do you mean? Yeah, okay. If I can, yeah. Okay, if I'm making the stat block, I'll make it later. Don't worry. You're probably not going to be using it this session anyway. And if you do use it this session, I'll kill you. I'm joking.
Star will be greatly displeased if push comes to shove. I'll bullshit a stat block for it.
It's fine.
For like 10
I can make a stat block in an instant if need be. Mid-combat, I can come up with one. I mean, it's fine. It's totally good. So what about
all right, who's gonna buy from the curio shop next?
Razzle walks up with a piece of paper. Well, no, they crumple the piece of paper. They walk up before holding up a sign to the shopkeep, simply saying, "So I hear you know how to get a cane sword."
Oh, a cane sword. Are you referring to the swords that can be sheathed in what's the word I'm looking for? Innocuous objects, or just an actual cane sword?
Raz nods to the first one.
A sword that can be hidden in an innocuous object? I am asking semi out of character because
cane sword is basically it's a sword that can be hidden as a cane.
It has the same stats as a rapier, but it can have the sheath on, so you can't tell it's a sword.
Yeah, basically, it's you can't tell it's a weapon. That's the whole purpose of it. It's a disguised weapon.
That, or you could, it also can double as a bludgeoning weapon if you leave the sheath on, but that makes the weapon weaker, so why would you do it?
Yeah.
I mean, that's just a club.
he looks Razzle up and down and says, I think I have something that'll match your aesthetic. Let me check in the back. And he gets up and goes behind the wall.
You fucking use it right away.
No, I think that was them just like making it so so it can be used later.
Okay.
Distraction. Someone's a weird ass rogue thingy. A couple of seconds later, he comes out with a what's the word I'm looking for? A kind of fancy looking cane that fits Raz's aesthetic fairly well. It's a little out of place, but
monochrome?
it's monochrome white and black, and it has a little jewel at the top that makes it look like a fancier walking cane. It's nothing special. It can technically dull as a casting focus.
Razzle
forget it,
seems
Razzle.
impressed.
And he unsheaths it to reveal the blade, and it has a few runes down the side. What this is a +1 to hit and +1 to damage sword, cane sword as you grasped effectively, except on top of its base damage, it does an additional 1d4 cold damage. He sheaths and says, for this, about before I say anything further, Star,
Yes.
would it be
Is
around
that
85
fucking
gold?
so solid
It
from
would
One
be
Piece?
around 85 gold, yes.
Okay, he looks at it a bit more. 85 gold?
Razzle
It's a
takes
nice
out the
sword.
rapier and sets it on the counter. I'll be trading this in as well, but how much would this knock off the price?
He looks at the sword. Star?
It's a
Is it the
common
rapier from the... Yeah.
That's just a... Wait. Yeah, it's a common rapier. I don't remember any special swords or anything like that in the campaign so far.
He looks at it and ponders a bit.
Let me see. Let me just look up the price for a regular rapier, I guess.
Give me a
Might be-
second. I have it here. Rapier,
Okay.
rapier. Let's see. That's a martial weapons.
yeah, I see it over
Yeah,
here.
there. 25.
Oh, that is...
25?
Wait a second. If
He
a hand
spends-
crossbow is 75 gold?
Jesus.
Yeah, it's shit.
Okay.
It's expensive.
Holy shit.
He
50
looks
gold
at it
is
for
good
a
enough like
bit.
a +1, you know, like a... Yeah, no, I'm sticking by my
Could you-
price. A hand crossbow is just way too expensive. That's too much.
Can I
He looks at it for a while and ponders and seems to be a bit deep in thought and says,
Yeah, you can that put
75 is the lowest I'll go for this. It's slightly used. It's a well-maintained rapier if it's seen combat, but other than that, it's
Raz
nothing
pays.
special. 75 gold?
Yeah.
Again, I want to make magic
He,
items affordable, so a good price for like a common magical item
So,
is probably between...
Can I get those stats again? It's the same D8.
It's just a +1, and it's got a 1d4 to extra
It
on
does
top of that.
1d4 additional cold damage.
Yeah, so it's a 1d8, and it's +1 to hit, +1 damage, and +1d4 cold damage.
Okay, got it.
He
Razzle
takes your
is
old
half.
rapier and puts it under his counter and hands you the much fancier and higher quality looking one. And he waits
Raz
for the
is
next person to
satisfied.
come around.
Yeah, give me a hot second.
I will say, in case anybody cares, Laviande wanted cursed items, right?
Yeah.
Oh, you're
All right, back.
Laviande got
Oh,
a
right.
random item. They just spent most of that money, so they're not going to be able to do anything else now.
Okay, fair enough. I
Yeah.
was just asking.
Also, before
I
Laviande walks away, the shopkeep tells you, a few
he's
buildings
not-
down, if you're looking for cursed items, there's the occultics, optics or something like that. I always forget its name.
The name is Amira.
Amnia?
Amira.
There's the
Amira.
Amnia shop a couple buildings down. It has a lot of cursed items, and
I think they were
I
saying the
tend
shop's
not to
name,
venture there.
It's boat. The shop's
not the
name,
shopkeeper.
It's boat.
Oh, okay.
Because why the hell
Amira.
wouldn't she?
That's perfectly fair.
Because like you go and you're like, oh, it's such a fancy name. The shop is just called Amira. It's like Urban or something. You go inside. Hi, I'm Amira. Like, excuse what? It just brings on an immediately different connotation. It's like, ooh, fancy to narcissistic. What?
Anium, is anyone else going to buy?
Yeah. Do you have anything Fae related?
Oh yeah, by the way, Solstice, you came here to sell the armor as well. Don't forget that.
Oh, right.
Hey!
Lord Wallbear, you wrote down all the armors, but basically just sell that for the base price. Because
The base price is expensive as fuck. Scale mail is like... God, how expensive is scale mail? I think it's like 120 gold.
75.
Listen.
Wait, what?
Close enough.
Listen, this is the...
I thought it was like, more expensive.
This is the party loot for going through a pretty big fight. It is worth it. I know the prices for everything. The grand total's probably around like at least 250 or something like that, I think. About 250. Right?
So...
Let's say 250.
I'll round it up a bit and say
no.
270.
That's my imagination. You actually go in and count all that stuff.
Okay, in that case, we are at 195.
Yeah. What? You counted it?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
I'd round it up to 200.
Okay.
2 padded.
And split amongst the party. That's only 50 gold each. So that's
So,
not
wait.
enough to afford. That's only barely enough to afford a macro item each. Yes.
So we're tacking on a 50?
Yeah.
I
because
need.
Solstice is the last person to actually interact. And they're like, oh yeah, I gotta sell the loot shit. And then everyone's like, oh yeah, we got more money.
Okay, I'm adding 50 then.
Wasn't this badly?
It's because this tiny little fatty was dragging around this huge sack of armor, and no one thought about, let's sell that first.
Wasn't the armor badly damaged and I repaired it?
Yep, you repaired it all pretty well.
I think I'm keeping most of the money then.
Hold up a second, 1 second.
We do have a second shop.
Pause one
maybe.
moment. Pause 1 moment. Solstice, I think we agreed on something.
No.
Yes. Roll your armor handling. Roll your weapon handling check. Not weapon handling. Smithing proficiency.
Oh right, that. Yeah.
The base
okay, let's
is
see.
half. So I'm gonna say it's 100 gold. And if you do really well, then we'll put you at 200. And if you do not so well, we'll put you somewhere between.
Okay, let's see. Come on, don't fail me now. Should I use which attribute should I use for the roll?
Star, I would believe it'd be something along the lines of athletics. I think
it's a proficiency.
Yeah.
I will say you can use wisdom or strength, I guess, right? I think it makes more sense, doesn't it? Wisdom or strength, right? For your proficiency.
Yeah. Constitution would also work, I think, as that is stamina related. And working.
It could. You know what? Sure.
Okay.
Just roll it with one of those 3 stats. But technically, you could say almost anything would work.
Yeah, let's see.
Sure.
16, not bad.
Yeah, it's 180. That's the total price you get out of that. So if you want to say the price of your labor is everything you improved on, then you take the 80 or something, and then you just split the remaining 100 with all the other party if you wish. Or you can keep all of it unless anyone calls you out. It's not my place to call you out on that.
Yeah. Unless someone calls me out, I'm keeping it.
Yes.
the shopkeep is fairly deep in thought because you asked if he had anything Fae related, and he's thinking, so continue doing whatever nonsense you're gonna do. I'm gonna think if he would.
I just like how while Litney's out there, just like outside and catching their breath, and so to speak, just like apologizing to for the outburst there.
As you were walking, as you were out there, basically having a bit of a panic attack.
I have it on the chat, by the way.
Yeah, I know you do describe it. Litney, despite not being able to breathe, takes a deep breath, feeling the wind against her skin. I'm fine, Razzle.
Yeah.
Down at Nadi. I'm very sorry for worrying you, little Nadi. I suddenly had a random memory.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. As you're out there, alone with Nadi, almost retching, just struggling for a moment to get comfortable back in your own skin. You you see, walking past you, a guy you haven't seen for the past few days. One of your teammates, Oleg. Oh, wait.
Hey.
What's his name? Was it Oleg? My fucking kid. It's fine. Let's call him. I have his name.
He is now Oleg.
I got his name.
He had a woman's name. I remember that.
Yeah.
Or
Alia.
Aelia. A-E-L-A. Yeah. Aelia. Yeah. So you see this guy. He walks past. He's like, "Oh, doing some shopping, are you?" And then he just looks at you, just sees you, kind of sick. Are you okay? He's always loud, even when he tries to sound like concerned or whatnot. He's just always half shouting.
I'm not quite sure. Litney is obviously holding onto Nadi's hand and is like, just had a bit of a mental breakdown earlier.
Oh.
Saw someone that I might have seen before.
Like?
A cat. It's weird. I know it's weird.
He scrunches up his his face kind of scrunches up, and it almost looks like he wants to be like, "Ah, you fucking pussy! Getting all worked up because of a cat." That's kind of what it immediately feel like. That's kind of what he wants to say, but he's like, he just lets out this moan to kind of just bites his lips like, and he just looks at you like, I see.
Well, there's a bit more to that.
Yeah, there always is. Hey, would you like to? Would you like some water or something? Wine? He kind of just starts rummaging his back. Water, wine. Fucking jokey.
I'll take some water. I'll take some water.
He pulls out a canteen, hands it over to you, and he just looks over at the kid. It's like, oh, you. Oh, I see.
Litney takes a sip.
Now, then, huh?
Well, I would say more of a foster care for right now. We found her yesterday.
By the way, as he says that you're a mother now, you see Nadi flinch.
Yeah, Litney's like, not quite, but it's kind of a sensitive subject right now. We found on her apparently in a barrel, possibly going to the bounty of Fonty.
He just kind of just blinks at you. It's like, the fuck? What? No, what? Those leprechaun bastards are kidnapping kids now?
Yeah, she was there when we found you in the pile of beat up bodies the other day
Yes,
at the tap.
He kind of just raise his hand. Do not remind me of that. I'm still trying to forget. And he's just like, oh my fucking god. They weren't like this before. They're fucking trafficking kids. No.
What do you mean? You know something about them?
I mean, he kind of just shrugs. You know, who doesn't know, like, it's one person or two people or four people involved in something somewhat shady?
Would you look? We're taking another job for for Lady Mabel, involving on the location of the bounty of Fonty and their boss. If you have any information, please. I want to make sure no child has to go through what she has to.
By the way, this guy, he was there in the room when Mabel was explaining all this stuff to you, and now only you realize, holy fuck, was this guy still knocked out when he was sitting there in the room? Did he just drag him there as he was knocked out?
Yeah, it's like, wait a minute. You were in the room. How? Wow, she must have hit you hard.
It's like, what? What? He just looks at you, just utterly confused. It's like, I don't know. This first time I'm fucking hearing about this. But anyway, listen, if you want,
I'm away from the. I'm away from the. I'm away from the laptop. Can I roll? Can I roll an insight?
Yes, I can roll for you if you want.
It'll be a flat d20, but if it's too low, I'm going to use my glimpse from a distant past, as that will allow me to add a d6 roll to my ability check.
You got 15, that's plenty. Good job.
All right.
So yeah, what are you trying to do? What are you inciting him on?
Like, wait a minute. Does he actually? Was he Is he hiding something, or is?
Nah, he was fucking out.
Okay.
Okay, he's like, okay, no, listen here, oh, fuck. Oh, shit. Oh, Soul's beard. She just like looks around like, okay, fine, listen, I'll talk about this, but...
Look, seriously, we need...
I know, it's just... Look... Okay, we'll talk about this and I'll explain things to you. It's a little complicated.
All right. Well, the rest of the party needs to know. They're inside right now.
He kind of just looks up. Yeah, in this shithole. He looks over to the side.
Yeah.
What kind of fucking lurk would go into a place like this? The sun's fucking falling out.
Well. Well.
You probably couldn't even. You probably couldn't even get a decent set of leather armor from this place.
Well, I did find a lucky die.
Tara looks at you. He looks at you, and he gives you such a sympathetic look as he reaches over. He reaches up and pats your shoulder. It's like he gives you a look where he's like, "I understand. You've been scammed. I understand." He basically says, "I understand. I
I
understand.
would love it if Raz just walked over and just like, "Hey, dwarf man, check this out," and unsheaves the canes.
Imagine
You know what?
that.
You know what? Let's go with that. Let's go with that. I feel like that would be funny.
You know what? You bet you could. You can. As he
So
just,
just
he's basically he spends all day just patting Litney. It's like I understand. Listen, my condol. We've
You
all
poor
been
thing.
there.
You poor thing.
We've all been
But yeah,
there.
Raz-
And then every time you try to be like, no, it's not like, and you're like, shh, it's okay. We understand. We understand. And Adi is also just looking so confused right now. And then Razzle just pops out. It's like,
here's the sign,
Hey,
just
kid,
like,
what-
"Hey, dwarf man, check this out." Pulls out awesome looking game sword.
and he just stares at you. It's like, where the fuck did you get that?
Points to the sword.
there.
Oh,
Litney also joins in. Litney joins in and pointing, and also Red Shell.
and then he's just like, no, what? Oh,
Yes.
wait a second. Oh,
What? Does he seem distressed, like, or kind of like
you get
disbelief?
the,
Like,
you get the feeling this guy might have called the store owner. He might have called the store owner something insulting, and pissed him off. And now he's like, oh fuck, no! Oh,
also the
I love
also the
good old Layla.
dice. Linnea's like, also these dice came from a duke. This they show him the 6-sided dice.
He looks at you. He says, listen here. I got 2 dukes over here, right here. I don't give a shit about any other dukes.
Linne
That
smiles.
still
but-
means nothing
you
to
know
me. I still believe you might have been scammed. And he looks at you. It's like, but that is bloody brilliant. Oh, my sword spear. Maybe you're disguised. By the way, he's pretty loud, and you can just inside the shop, you two, Solstice and Laviande can hear him, and then the shopkeeper can also hear him. The shopkeeper, you recognize that asshole?
Oh, that
Might want to get
poor-
a guard, it seems.
That poor dwarf. Oh, the things he will never know due to his ignorance and racism.
You know what?
Yeah, all dwarves are racist. That's kind of like one of the most important genetic traits.
That's just everyone agree. Technically,
Anywho.
isn't it also with elves? Elves are also very racist,
Yes,
depending on how old they are.
Elves are
Okay,
less
listen
racist.
here.
It's more like
If
they're
you guys
just
read my
believe.
lore, if you guys read my lore, every race in here is racist, and you've interacted with 3 people who were to hear leprechauns are like, oh, fucking leprechauns.
Yeah, I mean, currently leprechauns aren't aren't on.
Look in your PMs.
I am
Anyway.
patiently waiting.
So either way,
Anyway,
we go into the other store now.
Linny does mention to Raz that
Hell yeah.
that Ayla here has some information about the bounty of Fonty that he kind of was too punch drunk last time we saw him to remember all the details.
Raz pulls up the sign. Sounds like it. Not surprised.
Like the fact that he was so knocked out by Mabel that he's like he forgot that we had a job.
So, we go into the other store now.
I'm not done here yet.
Oh.
Solstice just
Yeah,
sold
I've been
stuff.
patiently waiting.
I'm so sorry. By the way, after you guys talk here, we'll be ending the session. And for the
Dang
other
it.
Yeah.
store, Razzle, you can take your time and actually do that out of session or something. I'm so
Go,
sorry.
Yeah, fair. We
It's
can
alright.
do that after session.
Because I feel like next session we want to get moving on the actual stuff. Especially since Amaranth is
Yeah,
going to do a whole lot of stuff, isn't she?
Oh.
You can get wacky and take your time to prepare.
Hmm.
I'm so sorry. If you want, we can open
Not
next
gonna be on.
session. We can open next session
Sure.
with a small segment just specifically for Amita's shop, and then move on to everything else. Because honestly, I still didn't get time to set up the other stuff I was planning on setting up this session.
Okay. Well, I like that. I'd rather they do the shopping on stream.
Yeah,
I'm glad that the roguelike thingy is also half goblin because it gives me an excuse to also make them a short stack.
Also, I'm pretty sure. I like to imagine that Inari was just so tired, but when seeing Litney, he just dropped to the floor, or just like woke her up.
Adrenaline's a hell of a drug.
Yeah, she might be sleeping good. Maybe.
And
Honestly,
you know,
sadly, I don't have any proficiency in medicine, so that's gonna be hard to, hard for me.
I'm sorry. I was just like staring at something. I blame Laviande. Sorry.
Yeah, that seems to be like the natural
Wow,
response.
it's not even that well drawn.
I'm
What
sorry.
are you
my
thinking for
my
the
mind was
fucking...
wandering as an artist. But anyway, ignoring that, pushing that aside, what you said you're going to go look for some drugs or
Oh.
something?
I am patiently
Me?
waiting to
Yeah, what-
finish the
I'm so
little
sorry.
buying session
Sorry, say please go.
that was going to most likely take at most 20 to 30
I'm
minutes,
so
maybe
sorry.
40, and it's going on for 2 hours.
I'm so
What?
sorry.
Why is this party so easily sidetracked?
I will
And
say
probably the fact
Yeah.
that there's 8 of them.
I will
We
say this.
literally not one of us is neurotypical. I have like 2 mental pathologies. I'm autistic and I have ADD. So
Listen, I will say this.
I'm
I greatly
I'm in the same club.
I greatly appreciate how easily sidetracked you guys are, because there's a lot of room to squeeze in. Like, hey, here's this guy. Oh, that happening. You know.
Any of whom, I'm now going to verbally bitch slap anyone who continues to interrupt while I try to do the thing that was supposed to take 40 minutes.
I'm sorry. I blame myself for this one because,
Okay, please blame after session.
All right.
And don't blame me, please.
Any of whom?
Whichever DM.
Any of whom? I forgot who I was attempting to sell with, except for the
Solstice.
fact that they were
Solstice.
asking. Anyway, Solstice, you see the rather short elf, get done pondering and say, not really, not anything an adventurer would want, but that young one seemed tired beyond belief, and I don't think that's natural. I'll quickly check in the back for something I think I still have. He goes back there, and a couple of minutes later, comes out with a... what was it? Vial. And, he looks at it and says, like, 20 gold? It's the only even slightly faith-early thing I have here. And I feel bad about that young child. They looked so tired, yet so unable to sleep.
What is it?
It is a small vial of I forget what exactly it was. It was, I think it was a vial of. I don't exactly remember what it was called, but I remember what it does. It usually mends and helps and heals a fair amount of minor and some serious ailments. It's
do
the
you
reason
think
why I
it-
got out of.
Do you think it has any effect on addictions and other
I'm
drug-related issues?
not exactly certain. I've never had the opportunity to
Sorry for
test that,
interrupting, but I'm gonna have to go. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
understandable.
Right.
But it will at least curb it for a couple weeks, maybe 1 or 2.
All right. Well, let's put
There's
that
only
aside
enough
for now.
1 toast.
Yeah, let's put that aside for now. Do you have any weapons in the any great weapons
I
of
have
note?
a fair amount of great weapons. Depends on what kind of great you're referring to. Great as in the wonderful sense of it's a good weapon, or great as in the great axes and great hammers and the thing the average barbarian walks in with, wondering why it stopped working after it's split in half.
One of these, as you see Solstice pull out a weapon that's easily twice her size. It's a greatsword, just for reference.
I have a few of those. He goes into the back and walks out, actually rather quickly, and there's a fairly decently sized little sword for the fairy. I'm assuming you're a fairy. I'm sorry if
Yep.
I misspecied you, but he looks
Don't
at
worry
it and
about
says, "Here, yeah, it's gonna cost you a bit." And he says it's gonna cost you about 120.
Okay.
It is a great sword for a fairy. That is a +1 to attack and hit. That seems to be a little sharper than most other swords. It has an additional ability to, upon hit, twice per long rest, it allows you to roll an additional damage die.
Ooh, nice.
And if Star's about to state something saying 120 is too cheap, I will gladly raise the price. However, that is about what I give my own player in a situation like this.
I approve. Just
So,
restate exactly what the item does.
It is a +1
Yes.
to attack and hit greatsword.
Yes.
And upon hitting, the greatsword can roll an additional hit die.
Twice per
So
long
I
rest.
believe I
No.
believe a greatsword has a
No.
2d6.
No, not
It'd roll an
accept-
additional
not,
d6.
Not accepting that. That's a Flameberg.
Reasoning?
Flameberg.
Flameberg?
That's the equivalent of a Flameberg.
Question. What is a Flameberg?
You don't know a Flameberg? It's a sword. It's a +1 sword. You say a bonus action. It lights on fire. Does an extra 1d6 damage, or was it 2d6? No, bro. Listen, just make it a +1 sword. There's no need to make it even that much stronger.
Fine. Fine, it's just a +1 sword.
Listen,
Any change in price?
If you give these guys weapons that are too strong, I'm gonna have to bring out. I'm gonna have to bring out even stronger enemies. And I don't want to escalate too fast.
Yeah, I only have like 20 HP. I'm the squishy one.
Yeah, I'm trying not to escalate the difficult. I'm trying to not escalate the scaling too fast.
Yeah, fair. It's just gonna be 100 gold then.
All right. I'd like to sell my trade in my great sword then for that one.
He picks up the great sword and very quietly chuckles to himself at the size of it, and puts it under his counter. And so, Star, approximately how much should I knock off of it, or how much gold should I give them?
No.
60,
So
40.
it just
No.
just say that it's worth 60 now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Let's
and we'll be
take
ending
that.
the session there actually because we're out of time.
Yes.
If you
In
guys
that
if
case-
you guys would like to keep talking out of just the session just to get things sorted, go ahead. I have to go though.
Yep. Okay.
Hey,
Let's do that.
Toodaloo.
Anyone who's
Have a
watching,
wonderful evening.
anyone's watching,
I
thank you
can't
so-
wait to. I can't wait to watch this back and hear all the stutters and the little imperfections of my voice that I did not previously notice.
I'm not gonna watch this back. That will kill me. Bye bye. Take care. If
Understandable.
You watch, thank you so much for
Yeah.
watching. Bye bye.